My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my ranking of the Jurassic Park franchise from worst to best. And this video will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But I find these movies to be very frustrating because dinosaurs are cool. I do want movies with dinosaurs in them. I just wish they were in better movies. So let's begin by talking about the worst one, and it's the brand new Jurassic World Rebirth. And they kind of marketed this movie to make it look like it was going to be spookier, and that's just not the case. In fact, this is the same Jurassic World movie we have seen plenty of times at this point, and I'm tired of it. Like, did we really need this movie to take place on an island, in a jungle? Like, couldn't we think of something different by this point? Like, it just makes it feel like this franchise is void of any creativity. And this movie was rushed. Like, it was announced just over a year before its release, and you can feel that while watching it. It just feels so sloppily put together, and it's just a generic, bland movie. It drags, and there are way too many characters here. And I don't know why you would have this one family, and then everyone else, and then they get together and they split up again. Like, why do that? Shouldn't you have separated the dad from his daughters? Like, couldn't you have thought, like, why not put Mashallah Ali's character in charge of the two girls? Like, I'm truly baffled by the decisions made there. The one scene of Scarlett Johansson and Mashallah Ali's characters talking about all their trauma is just so shoehorned in. It is the bare minimum of character development, if you can even call it that, and it just it's embarrassing. Like, it is such a terribly written movie in every regard, and when Mashallah Ali's character sacrifices himself at the end of the movie only for him to still be alive, I rolled my eyes all the way back to my head. The action set pieces are very underwhelming. The raft one could have been cool, but the amount of plot armor just got out of control, where it shows the dad struggling to get past the T-Rex, and then everybody else just shows up with him, and I'm like, what? And then the pterodactyl scene could have been cool. They were really high up, lots is going on, and Jonathan Bailey's character falls off in a huge height. He hits two trees, hits some shallow water, and he's perfectly fine. Like, no, absolutely not. Give me a freaking break. And it's just the type of movie that you watch and you never think about again. It drags heavily, it's really boring, and it's just an instantly forgettable movie. So I despised it. That's why it came in last place. And coming in just barely above it is Jurassic World Dominion. And this movie is also frustrating because Fallen Kingdom ends with the dinosaurs entering the planet. They are everywhere now. And the movie doesn't even focus on that. Instead, we get a plot here about locusts. Like, what are you thinking? And then Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum come back just for fan service sake. Shit, I'm struggling to remember this movie. It takes place in yet another jungle. Oh, these two movies really piss me off. So, I really hate this movie. There's one decent moment, and that's why it's not last. The third worst movie here is Jurassic World, and this movie frustrates me because I love the premise. The idea of this theme park being brought to life finally, and then the dinosaurs break out again. Just perfect for a reboot legacy sequel. Like the perfect direction for this movie to go in. But the execution sucks. Like, Chris Pratt does his best here, but the characters are just so forgettable and so bland, and it's such a terribly directed movie by Colin Trevorrow. It's never tense, it's never thrilling, and I really hate Claire as a character. She is completely unlikable. I didn't care for the plot with the two kids either, and the divorce subplot between their parents is so shoehorned in. And everything with the Velociraptors just feels so tacked on, and it just feels like an unneeded fourth act. I don't know, just, I want to love this movie, so much potential, but it's terrible. It really is. So that's why it's the third worst. The fourth worst is The Lost World, aka Jurassic Park 2. Now, I do think the scene where the daughter kicks the raptor is a very funny scene. I like the scene in the trailer as it's about to fall off the cliff, and I kind of like the climax with the T-Rex in San Francisco. But everything else in this movie is just so bland and generic, and I've watched this movie plenty of times, and I always just forget it. I love Jeff Goldblum, I love Ian Malcolm, but I don't think he's the type of character to carry a movie like this, and you can tell while watching it. So it has its moments, but it's still bad. The third best Jurassic Park movie is Jurassic Park 3. Now let's just address the elephant in the room. Alan is a really funny moment. It is. That scene cracks me up every single time. And I like how this is a nice 90-minute long movie. It flies by, it's entertaining, and it has some great moments. I like the pterodactyl scene, I like the boat scene, I like the reptile chase. And the plane crash is pretty good as well. So, lots to like here. Sam Neill is just perfect as Alan Grant, and he brings lots of gravitas to this movie, and he carries it incredibly well. So it's still not great, but it's a good turn off your brain monster movie. But then we get to the top two, and these two picks are two I'm very passionate about. And the second best Jurassic Park movie is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And I know lots of people hate this movie, and some of the writing can be iffy, but I truly think this movie is a gem. I think it is so underrated, and I think it's a great movie. There are some really terrific set pieces here. Like that one scene where Owen Grady is barely able to move and the lava is coming towards him. I love the scene where Claire and the two other people are in that bunker and lava is dripping down. Them escaping from the volcano is a really exciting scene. The scene where they leave the island and you see the dinosaurs left be destroyed is actually a really emotional moment. The scene where Owen has to jump through the T-Rex's mouth is just so good. And then we get everything in the mansion. And the auction stuff is so silly in the best possible way. And I love the change of location. It makes this movie feel fresh. It makes it feel new. And I think there was plenty of terrific action present in the back half of this movie. And I really don't think this movie gets the credit it deserves. It looks great. J.A. Bayona brings a gothic feeling to this mansion. And I like the clone Trist. Because for so much of this movie, we have the mindset, just kill the dinosaurs. But here we have a human clone. And it feels like a proper evolution of the franchise. But it also makes you really think about what has been done and what should be done. Should we be held accountable for our sins, for our actions? And I think there's a lot more to think about here. I also do like how they actually get you to care about Owen's relationship with Blue. Chris Pratt does a great job here. And yeah, it's just a movie I have a blast with and I legitimately love. But the best movie is obviously Jurassic Park. Like, this movie is just a masterclass. Sam Neill carries this movie so incredibly well, and I love how his character progresses, how he forms a real relationship with these kids. Laura Dern does a great job, but Jeff Goldblum as Ian Malcolm just gives one of my favorite performances here. Because he could have been the goofy side character, but he brings lots of dramatic weight. He brings lots of the philosophy of this movie, and I love how you don't expect that from him. Richard Attenborough does a great job as well. The actors who played the two kids are great, and even some of the side characters like Samuel L. Jackson and Wayne Knight really stand out. So the cast and characters are just terrific. It's such a smartly written movie with so much great setup and payoff. But the philosophy here of how science can allow you to do stuff, but there's still a morality behind it. And there is so much here to chew on. And it's just It could have been just a dumb dinosaur blockbuster, but there's so much more substance present. But that said, as a monster movie, it vastly succeeds. Like, Steven Spielberg directs this movie so incredibly well, and he makes you afraid of dinosaurs. The T-Rex scene is just terrific. The Velociraptor scenes are so edge of your seat thrilling. The electric fence scene is one of the most tense scenes in movie history, and I just think this movie looks and sounds incredible. Like, the visual effects for a 1993 movie are just mind-blowing. So, it's one of the greatest movies ever made. Great characters, great cast, well directed, looks and sounds great. The music by John Williams. Do 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 do. Like, it actually pisses me off that they still rely on that moment, on that music in the movie's filmmaking now. It can be really scary at times, but there's also moments that capture a sense of awe and wonder, and it's really smart and has lots on its mind. It is a perfect blockbuster. It is one of the greatest movies ever made. It is Spielberg's best, and it's easily the best Jurassic Park movie. But that's my ranking. What's yours? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin,